Hello and welcome. Today we're going to do a standard video on one of the more spicy decks that came out of my World Championship testing. This deck is a creation by Stanislav Cifka, and I was an eye-to-eye witness of the experiment unfolding, you could say. This deck was actually quite high up on the list of decks we wanted to play for the tournament. In the end, it turned out that it wasn't quite good enough against more linear, aggressive decks, like Mono Green, for example. You were just like one step too slow. But nonetheless, the deck is strong, powerful, unique, and pretty good against the other blue decks. And certainly good against you need graveyard interaction or exiling against this deck. Otherwise, you ain't grinding it out. So let's talk about the deck. I'm gonna play 3 matches and talk about the deck now. 3 matches later. That's the format for today. So the deck. What are you trying to do? So we're playing cards like Consider, which is a cantrip that also could put a card into your graveyard. Amazing for the deck. We're playing Otherworldly Gaze. 1 mana, look at the top 3. You may put any number of them into the graveyard or on the top of your library. So you're manipulating your library, you're putting things in the graveyard. Demilich, well, we should maybe talk about this card first. So 4 blue, 4 free, costs blue less to cast for each instant and sorcery spell you've already cast this turn. And whenever it attacks, you can exile an instant from your graveyard or sorcery and copy it and cast it. So it's like a Snapcaster type card advantage engine, and you can cast it from your graveyard by exiling 4 instants or sorcery cards. So the trick of the deck is essentially mill a lot of cards, mill your entire deck, find as many Demilichs, and then cast them all in one swoop, get them on a battlefield, and while you do so, you cast some 1 mana spells. What do we have? We have Duress, amazing 1 mana spell right now. Even the mono green deck has so many non-creature things between Ranger class, Chariot, the fight spells, Snakeskin Veil that you can take away. Ren and 7. Of course, turns. Duress is one of the best cards against that deck. Bloodsheath first, 1 mana removal, perfect for the Demilich. Converts a black mana into a blue one for the Demilich if you're trying to cast it. And then we have Fading Hope, of course, 1 mana bounce, scry 1, very nice. Consider an Otherworldly Gaze to just find the Demilich. And Concerted Defense is a nod towards Auron's Epiphany. Demilich is a wizard, so if you have Demilich out, this will be essentially a Spell Pierce. And Spell Pierce, pretty good against a 7 mana sorcery. Or someone trying to cast a Windfall, Unexpected Windfall. And then on the 2 mana slot, we have Strategic Planning and Curate, just to mill us, to find the Demilich. Those are the best cantrips we have access to. We're playing 4 Jawari Disruption. First of all, we don't want to have many things that are not instant or sorceries in our deck. We want to have our entire deck be possible to be instant sorceries. So as you can see, we're playing 9 lands that are spells in the graveyard and can be exiled with the Demilich, which is important. For example, a deck like this could easily play Delver of Secrets, right? You would say, oh my god, you're playing so many spells. Why are you not playing Delver? But the Delver is counter towards the Demilich because you don't want to have creatures. You really can't get that out of balance. And you would think maybe Delver is good enough to still play, but it's actually not. Like, it still doesn't flip every time. It is not as powerful as Demilich. It just dies to removal. It's actually sort of bad against removal because Demilich isn't bad against removal. You can kill the Demilich, it comes back next turn, which is the super strong part about it. So then, yeah, we have Jawari Disruption. Everyone knows Jawari Disruption. It's just a good card. You can pass on the play on turn 2 and just keep it up and get ahead in the game, or stay on parity. Then we have 1 Blood Pact, an unusual one. The deck really wants the spells to be cheap, especially you're flashbacking them. You could play like Behold the Multiverse, but it's a little too expensive. You want to have a cheap so that you can do multiple stuffs in one turn, multiple things. That's where this deck gets its advantage, right? It just does so many things in one turn. And Blood Pact kind of fits the bill. It's an instant, so you can pass with counter magic like Descent for Stroke or Test of Talents in the blue matchups up, and then cast a Blood Pact. And later, when you've dumped all your resources out with the Demilich, you can flashback the Blood Pact with the Demilich to get back up on cards again. Then we have Tempted by the Auric. Everyone knows Old Growth Troll out of the mono green decks. This card, quite good against that one. It is just the best thing we found against the green decks. You can play Power Word Kill, you can play certain removal spells. But Tempted by the Auric is just the most powerful spell that is reasonable to cast and comes down in time that we have access to in these colors. And it is also flashbackable, of course, so that's pretty nasty. Yeah, we're playing 2 Elrond's Epiphany, just to close the door. You can mill the Epiphany, right, with all your mill stuff, with all your card draw. Flash it back with Demilich if you need to. And it's just there to get a game over with quickly. And yeah, that's about it. We have Seagate Restoration as a split land spell. We can talk about the sideboard real quick. So the sideboard is concentrated on beating creature decks. Power Word Kill is certainly one of the better things you can have against mono white, against mono green. Just 2 mana kill anything without a downside in those decks. More Blood Pacts for the grindy matchups. Then we have Disdain for Stroke, Test of Talents for Stroke, Goldspan Dragon mainly, but also of course the other 4-drop spells, Out of Izzet, Leer, etc. And we have 1 Hermit. Hermit not at its best, but you can mill it. You can get it back, then it's a 2/2, it can perhaps make your own Epiphany uncounterable. It's just a neat one-off to have that you can maybe mill into. Yeah, it comes up that especially the backside can be important in these blue mirrors. And yeah, the rest of the spells, we have some Test of Talents, of course, for Epiphany, and then some more removal spells, situational, Soul Shatter for Goldspan Dragon mainly, and another Tempted by the Auric for mono green and the other creature decks. Yeah, that's it. That's the deck. Let's get into the games. Hey there, before we get into the actual footage of the games, I have to tell you I did a small mistake. I forgot to reposition my webcam after the intro, so my webcam is actually over my hand for the games. Shit happens. I thought the material is still so good that I don't want to conceal it from you. I hope you can make do without seeing my entire hand for a good amount of time of the matches, unfortunately. Next time, I'll learn from my mistake, hopefully, and do better next time. Enjoy watching. Game number 1. We are on the play. Let me just adjust my settings. Alright. This hand is just fine. We have some interaction. We have Consider and Strategic Planning and Curate to dig us into the Demilich. Small disclaimer, I'm certainly not the expert with the deck. I definitely did struggle playing it. It is very complex, but I try my best to guide me and you, both of us, through this little challenge here, and play the best to the best of my ability. Well, in the end, it's kind of simple. You want to make land drops, of course. You need those land drops to cast your spells, and you want to find a Demilich. That's basically the goal of this deck. That is a land drop technically, but I think we'll be able to find more lands, so we'll put that to the bottom. Alright, there's an Epiphany. There's a Duress. Let's cast Strategic Planning. Hopefully putting a Demilich in the graveyard. Oh no! Really? Hall of Storm Giants and a Consider Defense. Is this Noriyuki Mori's deck, perhaps? Interesting. Okay. Huh. That was really annoying. I could fire over the res. I wouldn't even know many spells they have right now. I think I'll just curate. Okay, that's very nice. Yeah, I think I'm happy keeping the land. I might have already done a small misstep here. We could have cast this curate, found this Jawari Disruption, play it, and then we would have had an untapped land next turn, could do rest, and then cast a Demilich. Well, but what I'm going to do here, that's a little trick with this deck. Cast in your upkeep some of your spells, like Fading Hope or Otherworldly Gaze, to set the top of your library. Okay. I don't think I want a Blood Pact right now. I just want an untapped blue source. If I find that, I could have the rest into Demilich right there. Alright. I think on this turn I'll just do this, play my Jawari, and pass. So yeah, we're spending a lot of cards, right? We're low in hand, but we have this Demilich and we can just dump our hand because we have these Demilichs that just come back from the graveyard just by exiling some instant and sorceries. So next turn we can do rest, Fading Hope their creature, and cast a Demilich. Opponent not doing much. Let's see what's going on over there. Spending 4 mana to just cast an Aspirant makes me think they have some interaction, right? Did they want to keep up in my turn? Deep in the tank over there. One bonus of this deck is for sure that people don't know necessarily how to play against it. It is a very unique deck. Okay. Let's see, they kept up some interaction. We're taking the Fading Hope. So now we have 6 instants. We can choose which one we want to keep. I could fire off this Fading Hope, or I could not. I think I'll fire it off. Yeah. Because of they might play the lead Spellbinder, and I don't want any spell in my hand that gets affected or that I want to be cast. Actually, we're gonna play a land, and the next turn we're gonna just cast the Time Walk, so I kinda like this. Ooh, almost didn't play around that Jawari, did I? Alright, we don't need you, we don't need you, we don't need the rest. And Fading Hope or Curate. Lots of tiny decisions. This deck is very complex. Take your time when you play. Take your time with the rope. You often can't take your time. But yeah, happy to pay that one. Very, very, very decision-heavy deck. I was certainly a little frightened to bring this deck to the World Championship. Yeah, I had complicated situations. Probably a lot, right? Okay. I don't want to just trade with the Spellbinder, I think. I think I'll just do, because our graveyard is really low right now and we can't get damage back just now. I'll just do that. Oh, okay. Interesting. I could cast this first to set my library. Or I could cast Strategic Planning first, dig, find something, and then afterwards I cast the Gaze and then I can get back a Demilich. Is that correct? Yeah, that is correct. Well, and also if I cast this now, my opponent might instantly know that I can get my Demilich back. But right now, they don't know. Do one consider a Fading Hope? I think I like to consider. Yeah, I think so. I'd rather dig for more. I already have Fading Hopes in my graveyard to flash back if I need to. My opponent does not want to block, I suppose. Respecting my ability to get the Demilich back. Which makes sense. I'm nonetheless gonna cast this Gaze here, I believe. Just to find a Demilich. Because if we find a Demilich, we can just cast it. We have enough spells to get it. Question is, do I want to cast Consider first? To maybe change my mind? I think I'll cast the Gaze first. Alright, awesome. Yeah, put them all in the bin. And now I'm just gonna do the same again. And if you find another Demilich, that would be really, really good. I think I'm keeping the first on top. Yeah. Okay, we have, yeah, this game, as you can see, we're just doing much more powerful stuff than my opponent is doing. I think this game was certainly half won by us, because our opponent just did not use their mana really. They had one spell pierce on turn 1, and they didn't do anything on turn 2, and then they kept up the Divine Disruption on turn 2 as a spell. Yeah. And now we'll just take care of the board position. We're gonna flashback Curate, I guess. We could consider first and see. Okay, we don't need another land. Attack. Definitely cast the first. And then we're gonna cast the Curate, I think. Dig deeper into our deck. Put cards into your graveyard. I guess I keep the first on top. I mean, I could also put it in a graveyard and flashback it next turn. They're taking 10, going down to 4. I don't think they have a way to come back here, right? Alright. Getting in there. Interesting. Well, I'll just go to combat then. What might they have? A removal spell would not help. I'll flashback the hope. Just set them back on the battlefield. Easy. That was a good showing. That was a good showing. Okay, we're playing against blue-white tempo aggression. Don't want the defenses. I don't want the blood pact. They play Fading Hope, which makes the Tempted by the Auric more questionable. And Duress is another question mark, let's say. I do like Power Word Kill. I do like Flunk. I might just like the Hermit. Even alone, a 2/2 creature is kind of nice against at least Elite Spellbinder. So it's maybe between Inferno Grasp, Duress, Tempted by the Auric, and Hermit. Can't really go wrong with an Inferno Grasp here, I think. They're not pressuring me all that much, but I really want to get rid of their creatures. I would be tempted to try Tempted by the Auric. I mean, we can cut a Time Walk and maybe play 2 Duress, just to see what they're up to. Leave the Hermit out of the game for now. Although the Tempted by the Auric is certainly bad against defense. Maybe it's more a card I want to have on a play in the deck. Maybe just a Soul Shatter. Let's play one. One copy to find for the super late game, like turn 6, 7. Can be very good. This hand is just fine. A little slow, just 2 drops, but we can make it work. Those are some sweet lands. Probably slow out of the gate yet again. Maybe another Javai Disruption? I see. Must be a concerted defense, right? Which we can play around if we want to. Question is, will we always have the opportunity to play around it? I'm going to try that. The funny thing is, my opponent also has the incentive to just keep it up all the time. And if I play into it, they don't have that incentive anymore. Which then means they will curve out and just play all their things, use all their mana. And I actually want them to not use all their mana. I want them to be a turn slower. Alright, now they're tapping themselves out. They're missing land drops. Okay, definitely this in the bin. The other two I'm not so sure about. I kind of like land drops. What's our next turn going to be? We can't quite cast a Demilich because we have a black source here. I think I'm happy to keep those. And then yeah, I'll just destroy the red Dane. Nice. 2 flashback spells, perfect. Alright, so now we could put a stop in our upkeep and cast a Gaze in our upkeep. That certainly comes up sometimes. I'm not quite sure if it does this turn, but if you're playing this deck, I think it's a good habit to get into, to just put an upkeep stop. and you have a gaze available in your hand or graveyard. So now I could just destroy the Aspirant and cast the Demilich. I think I like that best, to be honest with you. So I'm just gonna go into my turn. Destroy the Aspirant. Okay. That's fine. If I had a Fading Hope, I probably would have cast a Fading Hope as well, right? Yeah, we can't curate here because then the Demilich costs 2 blue, which I won't be able to cast. So now I'm hoping that there's no Skyclave Apparition or anything in that department. Perfect. Oh, it's an angel. Less perfect. It is an angel, unfortunately. Huh. Okay, let's go on to that one. Consider as a nice one. Okay, I think I'll just attack, cast a Strategic Planning then. Flunk doesn't do the job here, doesn't do the trick. But yet again, they're kind of incentivized to block, right? But they also don't want to block. So we know they miss land drops. It's tempting to take the Disruption, but I think that's a play that could lose me the game. I'm just going to take the powerful spell. Yeah. No? Okay. Huh. So if I find a Demilich here, I can cast it. And I also kind of want to hit a land drop, to be honest with you. I'll put that in a bin, we have enough action. So if I mill a Demilich and hit a land, I can cast it. Okay, was not successful. Yeah, but I think hitting the land drop there is more important than getting something like a 2-1 Hermit out. I want to cast that Time Walk, perhaps next turn. Hopefully we find the second Demilich soon, so we really get ahead here. Yeah, as long as the Demilich just sits around and they don't play, I mean, the best play must be the Angel, right? Because it's immune to the removal. I think I'll just take a draw. These cases are not quite impactful enough for me to play. I would like to have a Fading Hope as well here. I think this time I'm gonna curate first, see if I can find the removal. I like the land. Although we already have a land in hand, to be honest. Maybe I'll just take a key, consider. Duress. Don't need that. Not a planning. Okay. That Legion Angel, my goodness. Where are all my Fading Hopes? Let's find them, I suppose. We could do Res here, or we could consider. What am I afraid of? They have 6 cards in hand. I think I just want to find Fading Hope. Or another Demilich. Demilich would be awesome here. There's a Fading Hope. Yeah, we're keeping that. And if they block, we can cast the Demilich again, so they can't really block. And next turn, Yeah, I think I'm looking good here. We can cast double Fading Hope with the Demilich flashback. As you can see, you really want to make your land drops with this deck. We have our hand still 4 cards. We want to cast as many things as possible. That is problematic, a little bit, I guess. It's not that problematic, because yes, we cannot cast Time Walk into this, but we can just cast Fading Hopes on these 2 and be happy. And to make sure that happens, I will play my Hermit. Have a counterspell on the board. Yeah, now we swing the game state back in our favor. As you can see, Unsummon really, really good in this deck, because you don't mind when you have Demilichs that accrue you card advantage. You don't mind spending a card to just bounce something to their hand. Okay, sure. "26 cards deep. It is tempting to gaze here. We already cast 2 spells, so if we cast another spell, Demilich would cost only 1 mana. We have 3 left in a deck. On the other hand, we can just power word kill the aspirant, I suppose. Keep the board clean. Don't do any crazy things. Interesting. Ah, there's actually a cave. I gotta be aware of that. It's also a dragon, so that could kill me if I spend 3 life. Yeah, just kill the flyer. What do they have left in hand? This really looks like a plains from afar, this iteration of this land. I would guess they have another Spectral Adversary. Alright, how about we... If they have exactly... No, they only have 1 blue. Okay. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do this first and foremost. Just make sure this resolves. Yeah. Okay. Nice. Good game. Okay. First one in the books. Match number 2 against John Doe. This hand is reasonable. Probably gonna start with a Slundy Vision on turn 1. Yeah, that's what the deck needs. It just needs time. Give the deck time and it beats everyone. Now we have 3 untapped lands. Maybe I want to start cantripping. Haunted Ridge. Alright. No Cylinder Vision on turn 1. Yeah, if you give this deck time, it can basically outgrind everyone, at least as long as you have the interaction for things like playing against some vampires. Huh, alright. I could try to find a Blood Cheese first, or a Duress. I think we don't need land number 5. Yeah, and the deck is very blue heavy, so that's why we only see 2 swamps in the deck. Alright. Yeah, that's a good aggressive start. Move for land. Okay, I definitely don't need these 2, I think, but I want this. Alright. Taking 5. Not happy about that. Really would have liked the Fading Hope. Perhaps. I mean, I could have gazed in the upkeep, but I had attempted on the top, so that wouldn't have made much sense. So now we're just gonna gaze a bunch and try to find those Demilichs to set them up for turn 5. I could also just Cylundi Vision, to be honest. That's annoying. Check for traps in the main deck. I could Cylundi Vision and spare me the gazes for the turn where I actually cast the Demilich, because then I also get the cost benefit. So I think I'll just do that. Just try to find a removal spell. Oh. There's a Demilich, unfortunately. Yeah, this gotta be the best thing, right? So this has Menace, and this is a 3/2. But this gives every vampire more action. This hits harder, but this one I can't block with the other one. So I think I'll steal this, let them hit me one more time, and then I can block. That's the plan. So, and hopefully we can get some damage action going next turn. We certainly have enough spells to do so. Okay. No, I can't block any of these anymore. That's too bad. Yeah, I think I'm gonna gaze here. More cantrips. And an island. This is one of those spots where I'm not entirely sure what to do. I want the islands. I also like the cantrips. I think I'm just gonna keep the island because I have the gazes already that I can spend my mana on. Well, perhaps should just use my 1 mana gaze. On the other hand, the swamp might not do much for me anyways this turn. Imagine I find 2 Demilichs here, that would be amazing. We just get 2 Demilichs on the board. Yeah, this is down to the wire. I think now I'm gonna consider, in case I find like a Fading Hope, then I'm just gonna take that and cast it. And now we're just banking on hitting that Demilich. Alright, good. I don't think I want to draw any of these, so we put all of them in the graveyard. Okay, we don't need this, we don't cast that one, we don't cast that one, and we don't need that many duress or dry disruption. Okay. Depends on what my opponent has here, if they just have an Infernal Grasp, yep. Yeah, that's... Oh, wait a minute, my opponent did mess up there, didn't they? I don't think they wanted to do that exactly then and there. Yeah, I'm just gonna take this opportunity and punish my opponent for the misstep. So it goes on arena ladder. I'm not gonna pretend they did the right play as I would maybe when I'm testing with a friend. But of course they should have done it in the end step, not in my combat phase, where I then can just go into the second main phase and cast it again. Yeah, if we didn't have this Demilich here, we would go down to 4. They would perhaps deploy another threat. My hand is pretty empty. It wouldn't look so good. Okay. Yeah, in this draw, we're really missing the 1-mana interaction spells. We have 30 cards deep into our deck, and we don't have any of the 4 Fading Hope, any of the 2 Blood Sheets first. That really stinks. If we had those against this aggressive draw, I think we would have been in a much better situation. I'm just gonna do this. Take out the Socialite when I can. Go to 6. And as long as they don't have a removal spell, we can steal one of their creatures. We can also gaze in the upkeep, which is perhaps a good move. Just to fix our draw. So I'm just gonna do Tempted here. Yeah. Still no Fading Hope, no Blood Sheets first. That's kind of amazing. So I really would Fading Hope this thing. Oh, I'm on 6. I have 1 card left. I kind of want to steal the lifelinking creature to catch back up on life. But then what is the rest? What is my next turn looking like? I also want the 7th land. But taking 3 damage for it is costly. I have a Time Walk in my graveyard. I don't know. I think I'm gonna just take the Consider. Be happy about that. And then attack and steal the 2-1. I think that's the move. On the other hand, I could have gazed again. And if I find a Fading Hope, I think I'm in a great spot. I just bounce both creatures. They have an empty battlefield. Interesting. I think this time around I might just take the draw. In case I draw on land, I can just cast a Time Walk. And I also have a Consider. Do I block? We haven't seen any burn yet. Not quite sure what my opponent's running. But if they're playing these spells, they might not have space for burn spells as well. I would also give my opponent the option to sacrifice their vampire if I don't block. I don't think I want to block, especially with the Time Walk. I have a 2-1 lifelinker, which could get 2 hits in if I get a Time Walk going. And we didn't see any burn yet. Opponent's checking the graveyard. Do they have another one of these in their hand? Okay. I'll just take the draw. Okay, that's beautiful. Time for a Time Walk. Not much thinking about that. Now we might gaze in the upkeep. So now I gain the extra life. Actually, my opponent is very close to being dead. Yeah, very close to being dead. I just need one removal. Okay, vampires. Destroy target non-angel, non-demon, non-devil, non-devil, non-dragon. Alright, vampires are not on the list of power word kills exclusions. And that makes it the perfect fit for this matchup. I will take the flunk, and I'm looking at this Tempted by the Auric. I'm not super sure about this one, because here we play against a more aggressive deck than the blue-white deck we just played against him the round before. So I'm not entirely sure I want the spell. I definitely don't want Blood Pact though. Maybe Soul Shatter is fine. I think they have there's a good chance they might be playing. What's the card? Oh god, I missed the name. The 4-mana 3/3 indestructible when you sack a creature. Something predator. Anyways. Yeah. That card. And Soul Shatter is excellent against that one. Yeah, I could play Hermit to just block early, but this has menace. This one has menace, so I can just block the 2/1. Yeah, I think I like the rest more. Looking at this deck, I definitely think maybe for a ladder meta game, you want more Bloodchies first. Or if you're suspecting white aggro, you might want a Ray of Enfeeblement, the 1 mana -4/-1 to any creature, or -4/-4 to a white creature. Okay. Yeah, no, probably not. Too many Demilichs. I also don't necessarily want to draw them, I want to mill them. But I have 2 interaction spells, I have 2 lands. It is a close hand, I think. But we also don't have any cantrips, and we don't play many lands. But on the other hand, we play a lot of cantrips, so if we draw a cantrip, we can find a land as well. We have a Scry here. I don't know, I think this is not quite good enough. Okay. We can make this work. This is missing the early game interaction. We have cantrips to find ourselves things. Yeah, this thing on the draw turn 1. Good beats. Yeah. Alright. This might be over quick. As I said at the beginning, aggressive decks are sometimes just a step too fast. If you want to help out in those matchups, a couple more Bloodchies first, I think are a good idea to start with. Bloodchies first would be amazing here, of course. Kind of cool that this check for traps enables the bloodthirst from the vampires. If you take an instant, took my Soul Shatter. Yeah, let's do it like this. Probably want to gaze here to hit a land drop. Okay. Painful land to do it. I definitely want to keep one of these lands, but the Seagate Restoration So what's gonna happen here? We're gonna bounce the Falconraft Pit Fighter. Could also bounce the Socialite. And then I play it again and then we steal the Pit Fighter. We're gonna go down to 9. I'm gambling. I'm gambling if I put that land to the bottom. I'm really gambling. Into the graveyard. But it's also another spell in the graveyard, which is nice. We have the scry here. I don't know. It's a gamble I'm taking. For sure. So what do I bounce? This will be a 3-2 again because of the Socialite. If I bounce Socialite, this will be a 4-3. If I bounce this will be a 3-2. Then I can steal the Socialite and block the 3-2 instantly. I guess that's kind of smart. Okay, fine. I'm not playing any games. Aw, damn it. No. Okay. There's only one play I have. That's actually plausible. Keep the mind control in the graveyard. Hope for the best. Hope they have 2 lands and another land on top of the deck. Oh, I'm getting shredded. Down to 2 life. Maybe I should have kept the first hand with the Fading Hope and the removal spell. We really lost a lot of life to these early creatures. Maybe that was preventable. It seems really that's what my opponent's up to. Early creatures, early aggression, and then some disruption in the form of removal and discard. Maybe the Infernal Grasp is actually better than something like Tempted by the Auric. It's a little expensive, as is the Time Walk. Maybe we're actually happy with the Hermit or the Duress to take one of these removal spells or discard. Also not a fan of Soul Shatter. Tempted by the Auric is really good if you're stealing like a Kazandu Mammoth, right? A 3-drop. If you're stealing a 2-drop, it's much less powerful. You already took some damage. But on the play, I think it's good. I'm gonna pick the Grasp. We haven't seen the Predator card. And I think on the play, I just want to be mana efficient. I don't necessarily want to play a 3-drop spell to kill one of these 1 or 2 drops. I'd rather take the life points from the Infernal Grasp, the payment. Okay, lots of hand disruption. Hand disruption is not that good against this deck. Although check for traps is good specifically against the Demilich in hand. But my opponent's not doing anything aggressive. So that makes me hopeful that we have enough time to cantrip ourselves out of this situation. Use this deck again. If you give it time, usually wins the game. But exiling 1 Demilich is a good start. Okay. Triple discard. I really would like a Blood Pact now. If I would have known my opponent starts like this. Yeah, we're running out of cantrips. Alright, we got one. Okay. Go Blank is a really strong card against this deck. Nobody was playing Go Blank until Grixis Epiphany hit the tables. And now people are playing Go Blank, so that's a little risk that you are facing these days. A reason to do it in my turn. Maybe a small misstep. Yeah, I'm gonna fading out. What else? Flunk. Yeah, Flunk is a reason to keep. Alright. I'm getting somewhere. This would be an untapped land. I could have cast him. I could have played it last turn. I wanted to get him. Maybe get a 4-drop. That's why I didn't play it. John Doe. Wow. Oh, that's brutal. Kinda love what my opponent's doing. It seems very nice against these blue decks. Okay. Yeah, you can take a look. Alright. Well, we have 1 Demilich going. We have a bunch of cards in our graveyard to recast it over and over again. So I'm liking my spot. The Hive. If they would have activated the Hive and exiled a Demilich, maybe that would have been the best play from their side, to be honest with you. I wasn't even thinking about that. The Hive would have been really, really good here. Because if they keep enough cards in their hand, I can't even flunk it. And they had 4 cards technically, yeah. So if they just activate Hive, exile a Demilich. Tight game. What can we flashback? Flunk. And a bunch of cantrips and attempt it. Well, what my opponent can do here to come back is certainly kill my Demilich and play a free First Striker. But we have the Fading Hope, so we're gonna bounce this then. Yeah, okay. Okay. Nice one. Blood Cheese first. I don't have a double black yet, so I think I'm gonna put it in the bin. Alright. Do I want to have a planning or a removal spell? I think I want a planning. To be honest, I think Forward Kill is a safer pick. But planning is definitely enticing because we only want to find more Demilichs at this stage of the game. But again, if they go removal plus Florian, then I just want to have Forward Kill and cast the Demilich again. Yeah. How many do you have? You gotta kill my Demilich a lot of times. I'm not gonna cast the Gaze here. Yeah, no. I'm gonna cast it next time. I don't like the hopes. We have better things in our graveyard to flashback. Take a planning. Take the first. Maybe take a curate. Alright. I'm out of removal. My opponent's sleeves are more fitting for my deck, I feel. With the big skull. Alright, you can take that spell. Alright, there's the Predator. So we can't steal it, but we can just... it's a dragon. I can flank it. Yeah, nice. We can flank it. We can just flank it. I think I'm just gonna take a draw. Okay. Nice. Tight game. These games with Demilich, they're always tight. You're dumping your hand out and you're hoping that that things go well for you. It's similar to playing Delver. You gotta maneuver a lot. Lots of small decisions. But if you get the hang of it, what you're looking for, then it's definitely doable for anyone. Okay. Tempted to just take the land. Yeah, I'll just take the Cifka Division, I guess. And then I attack, cast the strategic planning. Okay. No, a Demilich. I'll take the Consider then. I'll cast it. Okay. Because you always want to make the land drops. So if this would have been a land, I would have just played it here. Between Otherworldly Gaze and the other cantrips and Demilich's flashbacking from the graveyard, you're happy to have your 8th, 9th land out on the battlefield. You're usually using your mana quite well. And my opponent went discard, and another check for traps that's now in the exile because of Bloodthirsty Adversary. And yeah, wasn't good enough against this deck because this deck gets Gets the Demilich back over and over again. And can grind out literally anyone. For the future, with Izzet Dragons winning the World Championship, it might not be the best idea to play a bunch of power word kills. But we have the strokes. You can put another Soul Shatter on your sideboard. There are ways to deal with that matchup as well. Match number 3. We're on a play against Darth Shaker. Funny name. Playing as blue. I'll take the duress. I think I'll just do right now to see what I hit. I think I'm gonna hit these. Easy expressive iteration. Alright. Divide, Memory Deluge, Epiphany. Probably taking the Deluge with our next duress. Divide is also annoying. We have the Fading Hope to at least interact with Goldspan for one turn. Opponent thinking. They're thinking if they want to suspend. Foretell. Why do I always say suspend? Foretell the Epiphany. Yeah, we're just looking for land drops. We're looking for Demilich. I'm gonna divide that. I'm happy if that happens. I'm super happy if that happens, actually. I'm not super happy. If they also find an untapped land here, then they kind of have a good draw. Interesting. I don't think I want another one. Curate. I already have a Gaze in the graveyard. I don't think I want to curate. Okay, I'm gonna duress again now. They have the land. Looks like a deluge for me. It's gonna be some time until Time Walk will be a thing. And until that time, we can perhaps find a concerted defense to counter the Time Walk. Or maybe not. It's going a little fast what my opponent's doing here. So if they have an untapped land here, which I suspect they will. Interesting. They did not. Okay. So now we can kill the gold span. Actually, we can't really, right? Because this costs 4 mana. And then we don't have duress, which we really need to cast this turn. So, what's the play? I can just cast a cantrip and dig for something. And then if they go, like, duress this, they go for time walk, then we bounce the gold span. Yeah, that could work. I'm in trouble. Definitely in trouble. Okay, I'm gonna start with consider. I wanna have the cheapest spell because I might just foretell the epiphany on this turn. I don't think that's gonna cut it. Oh, that might be good enough. I don't know, like, this is really risky now. If I keep this one. I could keep that card. Bounce the dragon. They get a treasure. Then they play the dragon. Attack. Get another treasure. And then cast Time Walk. And then I can consider defense to Time Walk. That should work, because they have one treasure from me bouncing, one treasure already in play, another treasure. But if they draw an untapped land, it does not work. It only works if they don't draw an untapped land here. Oh, that's I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna risk it. You only leave once. I'm gonna take that Actually, do I even have to take the exhibition then? Alright, I'm gonna play dumb. I'm gonna just do this now, which is a super weird line. Right? But my opponent should be able to see that they can play Gold Span and then Time Walk again. Damn it. They chose not to. Alright, fine. That's weird, right? I mean, maybe Darth Shaker knows what I'm up to here. Interesting, right? I could have done Gold Span and then cast Time Walk. Didn't want to. Well, if they cast Mascot now, which they don't, they're reading me. They're reading me like a book. Wow, they're reading me like a book, huh? Ah, okay. Alright, fine. Good stuff, opponent. Good stuff. Whew. Alright. Tempted by the Auric, not for this matchup. Sorcerer, yes. Infernal Grasp, yes. Fading Hope, maybe only like 2 copies. Disdain for Stroke, yes. Duress, Bloodcheese first is good against the egg. Defense is reasonable. I perhaps want the Flunk as well. Flunk is difficult to make work though. Against the 4 toughness creatures when you're on the draw. We can maybe cut the Salundi Vision for Blood Pact. The Dragon's deck is difficult, right? Because on the one hand they have all these spells, on the other hand they have these dragons. makes it so difficult to attack. I kind of want a Test of Talents, right? But I also want to have creature interaction. My opponent really playing around this card. Makes me not want to play it. I got annihilated there. Whew. That was gross. Like, my opponent kind of had it all. And played around my spell pierce. This hand doesn't do anything. I need the cantrips, I think. This hand just doesn't get anything done. This is much better. The Ashiok avatar, very cool. Not seen that often. Probably don't want this right now, but it's good in my graveyard for sure. So maybe I shouldn't keep the Consider, to be honest. Consider is very nice in the late game because it's just better than any other spell, right? Because you can see another thing and yeah, you see an extra card and can make a decision if you want to keep that card or not. But in the early game, where you are spending a lot of mana, you might not want to spend your mana on a Consider. Now we have a little too many lands. We have a lot of gaze to use the mana on. But also having the accurate sleeps in the deck. Interesting. Definitely don't want that one. Definitely want the strategic planning. Do I want a Test of Talents as well? I do like me some information. On the other hand, I also want to find Demilich. Okay, I'm gonna do it like this, I guess. I really don't want to have a second swamp on the battlefield. And this turn they can't cast Goldspan, so I don't have to keep up the Soul Shatter. Don't want to gaze. No. Maybe I messed up here. Because now I don't have Soul Shatter up to respond to that dragon. I could have just played a land and passed. So it was very likely that they have the Deluge, right? So I just counter the Deluge and keep up the Soul Shatter in case they have dragon. Now I'm gonna fall behind. So they have some Hermits in their deck. and left in the counter magic and have some Dragon's Fires and the Time Walks. Didn't make much changes to the deck. And they just cut like Fading Hope and some removal for Hermits. Too slow with my stop. All right. Yeah, even if I do this, I can't play Demilich, so. Yeah, the Dragons matchup is maybe much more difficult than the Turns matchup. Against Turns, you just duress them. You have Blood Pact. You're not under pressure really for the first turns. You just stifle what they are doing. But the Dragon's deck just all of a sudden puts you under pressure and threatens Time Walks and the Iteration and Deluges help the Dragon's deck keep up with you in terms of card advantage. How do I get out of this? I guess I keep a Curate. Try to find me an answer for the dragon. Yeah, we needed Demilich here much earlier to have a fighting chance. Yeah, now I'm just dead, right? I have to chump block with the Demilich. No, they can just kill me. I think I lost, yeah. I think I have to do this now. They can activate their land and shoot my Demilich and hit me for a ton of damage. Oh wow, actually we survive. Can play the Demilich. Barely survive. Chump block. Alright. Oh, it was also in our hand. So now we're empty-handed. Okay, I live another day. Ah, my opponent messed up here. They could have killed me, right? Could have activated the land, attack, and then bounce my Demilich. Okay, fine. That is it for a little Demilich experiment here. We went 2-1. Not so bad. Maybe there is a Dragon's deck is just too much of a powerhouse for this Demilich deck. Yuta Takahashi winning the World Championship with it certainly proved that. Yeah, but I hope you could understand the deck. It is fun to play. You have lots of little decisions. You're drawing lots of cards, and you can do some really messed up things. Like turn 4, cast 2 Demilichs or something like that. That can happen. It's similar to Arclight Phoenix, that you just like vomit your board, your graveyard onto the battlefield. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could give me a subscribe and follow or share, and obviously let me know in the comments any feedback, anything I can improve, anything you did like. Yeah, I'll try to make as many videos or as much content in the future, and see how it goes. Yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye. Until next time.